Jake, Clara, Liam, and Maria had been friends since college. They shared everything from their love for action films to their knack for finding obscure, dubbed movies online. One Friday night, with popcorn in hand and beers chilled, they gathered at Jake's apartment, ready for their usual movie marathon. Clara excitedly opened her laptop and connected it to the TV. "Check this out," Clara exclaimed, pointing to a newly discovered playlist.
The Title Read. Filmes completos dublados 2024 Colisão Colisão Melhores filmes de ação Colisão Colisão Filme completo em português dublado.
"Wow, that's a mouthful," Liam laughed, grabbing another handful of popcorn. "Let's dive in." Maria, always the cautious one, raised an eyebrow. "Are we sure about this? The title seems a bit strange." Jake shrugged. "What's the worst that could happen? It's just a playlist." They clicked play. The first film started innocuously enough. A standard action plot with explosive stunts and over-the-top heroes. But as the night wore on, the atmosphere in the room began to change. The air grew heavy, the temperature dropped, and shadows seemed to move in the corners of their eyes. "Anyone else feeling cold?" Maria asked, wrapping her arms around herself. "Yeah, it's weird," Jake replied, checking the thermostat. "It says it's 72 degrees. Despite their unease, they continued watching. The second film was more unsettling. It featured a grizzled cop chasing a mysterious figure through dark alleyways. Every time the figure turned a corner, their face would distort on the screen, causing the friends to flinch. The dubbed voices started to sound distorted, the language turning into a garbled mess that made no sense. "This is getting creepy," Clara said, her voice trembling. "Maybe we should stop." "Come on, we've seen scarier movies," Liam said, though his bravado was faltering. "Let's just finish this one." As the film progressed, the distortion worsened. Suddenly, the screen went black. When it flickered back to life, the four friends were no longer on the couch. They found themselves in a cold, dark alleyway, just like the one from the movie. "What the hell is going on?" Jake shouted, panic rising in his voice. "I don't know," Clara cried. "This can't be real. We were just in your apartment." "Maybe it's a prank," Liam suggested weakly, though he knew it wasn't true. A chilling laugh echoed down the alley. The mysterious figure from the film appeared, their face obscured by shadows. The dubbed voice, garbled and distorted, spoke directly to them. "You shouldn't have watched the cursed playlist. Now you're part of the story." They ran, hearts pounding, but no matter where they turned, they remained trapped in the alleyway's labyrinthine nightmare. Every corner they rounded brought them face to face with scenes from the films they'd watched. They saw the grizzled cop, now with hollow eyes, pointing at them with a twisted grin. The heroes from the first film, their bodies mangled and broken, whispered in a language none of them understood. "Split up," Maria suggested, hoping to find an escape. But splitting up only made things worse. Each of them was tormented by visions tailored to their deepest fears. Clara found herself in a room filled with spiders, their hairy legs brushing against her skin as she screamed. Liam was chased by faceless figures, their hands grabbing at him from the darkness. Maria stumbled upon a mirror that showed her reflection rotting away, her skin peeling and falling off in chunks. Jake was confronted by the shadowy figure, now revealing a grotesque, featureless face that seemed to absorb light. Desperation set in. Clara, clutching her phone, tried to call for help, but there was no signal. The battery icon blinked, and then the phone died. Liam, in a fit of rage, picked up a broken pipe and swung it at the shadowy figure. but it passed through the figure as if it were made of smoke. "It's useless," Jake yelled. "We need to find a way back to where we started." Maria, through her tears and fear, had an idea. "The laptop. Maybe we can reverse this if we find the laptop." They regrouped and ran back to where they had first appeared, searching frantically for the laptop. Clara spotted it, lying on the ground, the screen cracked but still glowing faintly. She picked it up and with trembling hands, tried to navigate back to the playlist. "Hurry," Liam urged, watching the shadows closing in around them. Clara found the playlist and clicked on the first film. The screen flickered, showing brief glimpses of their living room. Come on," she muttered, clicking frantically. Finally, the screen flashed brightly, and they were back in Jake's apartment, sprawled on the floor, gasping for breath. The TV was off, and the laptop was now a lifeless piece of plastic and metal. "Is it over?" Maria whispered, her voice shaking. "I think so," Jake said, helping her to her feet. "But we're never watching anything from a cursed playlist again." The friends sat in silence, the horror of their experience sinking in. The room was still cold, and the shadows seemed to cling to the corners. They knew they'd escaped, but a lingering fear remained. From that night on, they never spoke of the cursed films again, and their movie nights became a distant memory. As they each tried to sleep, their minds replayed the horrors they had seen, and in the darkest corners of their rooms, the shadows watched, waiting for the day they would dare to press play again.